So I was talking to Leah and several people from the New York area about what is this boot camp. You designed this boot camp. It's about an 8-week success boot camp. What is it? Who benefits from it? Is it going to be tough? The answer is yes. And is it for everyone? And the answer is no. But I want to give you a sense of it. And the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to give you describe the program for you, give you some insights, and then I want you, as I'm doing that, to write questions so that at the end, if you don't feel like I answered the question, you can ask it. The first thing you need to know, I'm sure all of you know by now, I'm an Exit Realty Corp mindset trainer. You guys know that already. But what you guys don't know, I'm first and foremost a prospecting coach, an activity coach, and I primarily work one on one with team leaders, managers, and large corporations. And because of the years of real estate I've had over 2 decades and the results that I've created through my trainings and my coaching and my own brokerages, there's some lessons you learn. There's some valuable lessons and some valuable techniques that you have to implement. I call them systems. So if you take an agent, a smart agent, somebody who wants to work, somebody who wants to do the work, here's what I tell them. You can have success if you deliberately create a plan and you actually implement the plan, even if you make mistakes. See, a lot of agents are waiting to learn everything about the business so they can start making money. They keep thinking they don't have all of the knowledge. And by the way, knowledge is important. I mean, I'm an academic. I used to teach at UCLA. I used to teach mathematics at UCLA. So I am an academic. I believe in learning. The problem with real estate is learning is not enough. Learning is the beginning of implementation. So let me tell you how I designed it. Before I go on, I'm going to give you a URL. In that URL, which is bit.ly forward slash AWDEC 2020. Make sure you write that URL, bit.ly forward slash the number 8 WDEC 2020, which stands for 8-week December 2020. If you go to that URL, you will have a lot of videos that talks about the program. You will have the registration form. You'll have my contact information. I'll give you my phone number at the end of the class so you will know what to ask for. So write that down, grab a pen. I'm more interested in your questions, but I'm going to try to illuminate this as fast as I can. Again, these two questions I'm going to put on the screen are the reason I designed the bootcamp. I'm always asking myself, why is it that nearly 80% of real estate is done by about 20 to 25% of agents? There's got to be a problem. I mean, you guys are smart. You guys are, know how to add and subtract. You guys know how to speak the English language. Why is it that some people do well and others don't? And those barriers are usually, and this is the part that a lot of people don't like, those barriers to success are usually put by the agent. The agent himself or herself has barrier to success. She doesn't even see it. They're in front of her. She doesn't see the barriers, and somebody has to, grab them and say, "Uh-oh, this is your barrier. Can we remove this barrier?" And all of a sudden, she looks around. She goes, "Oh, I can do this." So it's not just knowledge. There are mental barrier. This is why I'm a mindset trainer. If we get your mind right, we will get your success right. And the other question I ask myself is why is it that very few agents, about less than 15%, become listing agents? They actually go after the inventory and get listings. And the rest of them, they do 3 to 5 deals a year. Now, again, I am not talking about the person who is happy doing that. There are people who do real estate on the side and they do 3, 5, 6 deals a year because they have another job or they have something else. I am not talking about them. God bless them. Let them do what they're doing. But I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the full-time agents. If you commit to real estate and do it full-time, why is it that some go all out and others kind of meander? They don't go all the way. That's what I tackled when I was designing the boot camp about 5 years ago. Now, this boot camp was never public. You guys never heard of it for one simple reason. It's because I worked with specific brokers, and those boot camps were designed in certain areas. I did one in Wisconsin. I did several in Maryland. I did several in Virginia. I've done several in California, but they were always broker and I putting a program for about 20 agents. Remember, this boot camp is limited to about 20 agents. So those are the two primary questions, and here's what I believe. I'm going to tell you what I believe, and you got to ask yourself what you're thinking. I believe if you're a full-time agent, you are capable of doing 25 transactions a year, and you are capable of winning a bronze award once a year. You understand that with EXIT Realty, if you do 25 deals or 25 sides, 25 transactions, you get a bronze award. And I really believe that a lot of you are capable of it. In fact, a lot of you are capable of not reaching it, actually exceeding it. But for some reason, there's a lid. There's something on top of you that's holding you back. And a lot of the time it's you. It's not that you're not smart. It's not that you're not hardworking. You have a lid, and we have to get rid of that lid. So I believe the major obstacles are a combination of business planning, self-discipline, and systems implementation. The self-discipline part, that one is so important. Because remember, what is it to be an entrepreneur? What is it? Well, guess what? You get to decide to run the show the way you want. And if you're going to run the show the way you want, well, you got to create discipline. You don't have a boss telling you what to do or they'll fire you. See, if you could fire yourself, we will get a lot more done. But you can't fire yourself. You work for yourself. So if right now you want to turn me off and turn on CNN or Fox News or some other channel and enjoy it, you could. No one can make you do anything because you have the freedom of choice to do whatever you want. So if you know yourself to struggle with self-discipline, I mentioned this book before. I'll mention it again. I'm like I'm like your grandma, your old grandma who reminds you to do things. I'm that nagging grandma. This book here, called The Power of Self-Discipline, No Excuses by Brian Tracy. I really believe every real estate agent should read this book. The Power of Self-Discipline, No Excuses by Brian Tracy. If you find yourself struggling with self-discipline, if you find yourself struggling with what's called self-motivation, if you find yourself always being easily distracted, like you're supposed to do this, but you get distracted by the refrigerator or by the television, or your friend sent you a text like, oh my God, this has happened, and you get into that conversation. You probably need this book. Please consider it. Even if you don't take the class, I want you to do better in life. You deserve to do better in life. But there's a portion of you, there's a part of you that has to step up. So, whether you call it fishing, whether you call it hunting, I call it prospecting. A lot of you have not learned to consistently ask for business. One of the things about the boot camp is that you are forced to work with another 20 people and create a plan And by the way, I'll give you scripts. I'll tell you what to say. I'll tell you how to say it. I'll make it fit your personality. But the thing is, you got to wake up wanting to get business. And how do you get business? It doesn't land on your lap. You go get it. So we have lots of people who can clean the fish. But you know what we need in our industry? We need people who go fishing. They have to get their rods right. They have to get their the strings. They have to get their hooks. They got to get the bait. They got to go out there and they keep casting and casting and casting. We call that prospecting. And if you truly were honest with yourself, the only limitation on your success right now is you're not prospecting enough. If you truly looked yourself in the mirror and you go something, I could do better if I prospected more. But I'm afraid of rejection. I'm afraid to say it wrong. I'm afraid of looking foolish. I'm afraid to not know what to say next. All of those things are real. Don't get me wrong. These things that you are thinking are real. But the boot camp helps you eliminate them. The purpose of the boot camp is to build your confidence, to build your ability to go, I can do this. I know exactly what to do, and I'm going to do it. So the struggle in this business is our agents are not catching enough fish. They're not fishing enough. They're not hunting enough. It is your job to realize that you need to go prospecting. Let me turn off somebody's mic. So that's the mindset. You develop that mindset, you will always make money. If there is one thing you need, I want you to leave with today, and you can leave right now if you want. I need to learn to ask for business in a consistent manner to control my business. That's it. That's the lesson you need to learn. The sooner you learn it, oh my God, the sooner you'll start making money. I need to learn to ask for business consistently, and what my business will take care of itself. That skill, if you could take it on, you will always make money for the rest of your life. Because this is not a business for people to give you things. This is a business for you to go get it. But there are 5 areas you have to master. What are the 5 areas you need to master? Well, the first one is thinking like an entrepreneur. You gotta shift your thinking from being an employee to being an entrepreneur. I was having a great conversation earlier with Leah, and Leah made it very clear. She said, Key, after the last webinar you did with us, I went ahead and got this book called The EXIT Revisited by Michael Gerber. And she says, oh my God, I can see the people, how they think. I can see the technician. I can see the go-getter. I can see the person who has the mindset of an employee. So you need if there's something you need to work on to master real estate, is not just the techniques. You got to work on your mind. Your mind needs to become entrepreneurial, because if it becomes entrepreneurial, your planning will be going with it. You will never have to worry about, oh, I worked all day today. No one cares about how long you worked. That's the thinking of an employee. A thinking of an entrepreneur is, I made 5 calls, I get 2 appointments, ka-ching, let's keep going. That's the mindset. That mindset takes a while to shift. And a book like this could help you in that process. You need to start thinking like an entrepreneur. The second one, we talked about it already. The consistency of prospecting. If you were honest with yourself right now, you would say this to me, Key, I am not calling people enough. I am not following up enough. I am not sending postcards or letters or door hangers enough. I'm not engaging enough. And if I did more of it, I will get more results. But I'm afraid of rejection. I'm afraid that people will laugh at me. I'm afraid I will sound like I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm afraid of, you're afraid of rejection. Let's just be honest about it. And by the way, you're not alone. We are all afraid of rejection. I've never spoken to anybody who goes, I went on stage and I was not nervous. Everybody is nervous when they go on stage. Everybody is worried. What do they think of me? Are they going to like me? Are they going to like my voice? How about I don't have any hair? Is that going to be a problem? We all worry about that. That's life. Your job is to ask yourself, am I looking for approval or am I looking to be effective? See, being effective simply is asking enough people and you get results. Ask enough people, you get results. Ego, what ego does, ego wants you to be liked by everybody. You want to walk in and everybody applauds, go, oh, look at you, whoa. And you want that because you want to go, I have arrived. But the problem is that's not the business we're in. And the truth of the matter is people are not rejecting you. The problem is you're not asking enough people. We call that consistency of prospecting. The third one, which is important, you don't want to create an appointment and not know what to say. We call that controlling the presentation. You need to be able to have a listing presentation or a buyer consultation and be able to present. And by the way, it's something you learn. So if you don't know how to do it now, that's fine. It's a skill that you learn. This is where the self-discipline comes in. You need to learn to time block. We do a whole session in the boot camp on time blocking. We do a whole session on developing good habits. And by the way, here's the bad news. I got to tell you the bad news. Good habits don't happen in one day. Good habits take a while to be established. Those of you who have children, your children did not learn to brush their teeth because you told them once. Leah is smart enough to know she doesn't tell her kids when they're like 2 years old or 3 years old, okay, I'm going to say it once and I'm done. You're going to brush your teeth every time before you go to bed. No, Leah knows. She has to say it and say it and say it and say it and say it until the habit kicks in. Good habits take a while to develop. Bad habits, they don't take a while. That's the problem. See, they're both habits, but good habits take longer. Like working out takes longer. Reading books takes longer. Watching TV, no, you don't need to do much. It's a bad habit. You can find yourself watching TV until midnight. It's so easy because you're sitting on the couch and bloop, it's happening to you. See, that mindset, if you could understand that your self-control is within you, that you do have the control. Yes, you do. And if ever you doubt it, wake yourself up. Say, I do control my destiny. And the last part of this business is mental toughness. Mental toughness simply means I don't need people to love me. I just need to love myself, maybe have a few people in my life love me. I want people to respect me. I'm going to do my work. I'm going to do my work because I love it. And I'm not going to look for acceptance. I'm going to look for respect. A lot of you want to be loved by your clients. I don't care. To be honest with you, I really don't care if my clients don't love me. What I do care about is that they respect me, or if they're in my class, they get value. I do my classes because I provide value. And if I didn't provide value, I would not do it. So if you guys need love, get a dog. Oh, dogs will love you. They don't have any other job but love you all day long. You leave and you come back and they're like so excited to see you. In business, you need to be more strategic. You need to be more deliberate. And by the way, there is no job that you will ever find on this planet where everybody loves you. It's not the reality. The reality is you do it with respect, you do it with integrity, you do it the best way you can, and you produce results. So, what do I want to tell you about these 5 areas? First, we need to stop thinking that some people are born to be realtors. That is a falsehood. That is not true. Being a realtor is a skill. Anybody could become a Marine. If you told me today, Key, I want to become a Marine. I want to become a police officer. I want to become somebody who flies jet planes. You can become it. Now, is it work? Oh, yes. I am not saying it's not work, But I'm just saying you have the capacity to learn these things. So for me, the boot camp was designed to develop the skills of success, those 5 areas I just talked about. This is why it takes about 3 months. You have to be in the class or in the course for about 3 months to be able to get the full value of the course. Now, from time to time, you may have to, what I call, understand that the work can be hard. I totally get it. When you're working on something important, the work can be demanding. But the sooner you develop new business habit, the sooner the results start building up. So the way the bootcamp works is we are together for 8 weeks. 2 weeks prior, you have to register and do some assignments. So you start doing assignments before we even start the course. Then you are in the course for 8 weeks, and 2 weeks after you do a wrap up. So really, you're in the course for about 3 months. And here's what we found. We found that if somebody starts developing good habits and stays with them for 3 months, man, they can do just about anything. So let's talk about time. Most of you may not have as good a relationship with time as you should. See, when you develop good business habits, time becomes your friend. Time becomes an asset. Time becomes an ally. When you develop bad habits, time becomes an enemy. So I think about time not as this thing that keeps moving along. I think of time as a fertilizer. If I fertilize in the time that I have good habits, I get success. If I fertilize in my time bad habits, I get excuses. So what do you want? How do you want to live your life? Do you want to live it with excuses, or do you want to live it with results? Now, will everything work out? Absolutely not. But if you give it a go, you give it a go, you give it a go, it starts working out. Now, but you have to change your mindset. The way you think has to rearrange itself. You have to rearrange the way you see yourself and the way you think about yourself. And by the way, and for some of you, the programming in your mind was not done by you. It comes from the past. It comes from family members, other people who gave you a certain type of programming. Some of it is good, so you want to continue with it. And some of it may not be so positive. And you may have to revisit it and say, wait a second, should I rearrange my thinking about this? Should I look at it from a different point of view? So let me give you some math. In the United States, and you heard me talk about this before, there are 2 million licensed real estate agents. Of those 2 million, we have 1.3 million realtors. In the US, we do about 5 to 5.3 million listings a year. And there's about 10.5 to 11 million transactions. That's it. You, the realtor, you do not create the real estate. The real estate happens. Your job is to get your share. See, I want you to think about real estate this way. Think of it, you're on the ocean, all of you have a boat, and there's fish underneath. The number of fish is the number of fish. That's it. If there's 10,000 fish, there's 10,000 fish. Your job is to catch yours to feed your family. Your job is to go, oh, these are mine. I want my 20. I'm going to take them to my family. That's the thinking you need to develop. You should not develop the thinking, I'm going to sit in the boat and the fish will jump in. Yeah, just hang out and see what happens. That is not prospecting. So really, if you thought about it carefully, our industry does not need more agents. We only need 500,000 good agents. That's all we need. If we had 500,000 good agents doing 20 deals each, the rest of them can quit right now. So who are we looking for? We're not looking for people who want to work hard, believe it or not. Working hard is good, but that's not sufficient. We're looking for hunters. We're looking for prospectors. We're looking for go-getters. That's what we need. That's what our company needs. That's what Exit Realty needs. Exit need people who are go-getters. People, when they wake up in the morning, they have a plan. They know, this is what I'm going to do today. I'm going to make my 10 phone calls. I'm going to send 3 letters. I'm going to follow up with these 5 people, and I'm going to go door to door for an hour. That's my plan, and I'm going to do my plan, whether I feel like it or not. That's what we're looking for. So we don't need more order takers. We need prospectors. And each one of you at any point of your life can shift at any point and decide, I'm a prospector. Now, you may have to develop the habits. You may need some coaching and training. That's why I designed the boot camp. The boot camp is kind of a guardrail. It keeps you in the rails of prospecting because your natural instinct is to go back to what you used to do before. And we have to move you to what you need to do now. That's the mindset. This is why over the years, because of my management skills, my coaching, my mentoring, my background in academia and teaching mathematics, I've learned a lot of lessons that help agents learn faster and implement faster. So I designed good activities. I create checklists. I give you systems. I tell you how to do it. And I give you accountability. And accountability is you and the people in the class are going to hold yourself accountable. So no one hides in this class. When we do this class, all 20 webcams are on. We know everybody interacts. No one hides. No one takes the class and sits, go, can I just come in and watch? I'm like, no, we don't watch in this class. We do. We go to action. Do we make mistakes? Yes. Do we learn from the mistakes? Absolutely. Do we stop? No, we don't. We keep going, we keep going, we keep going. Accountability is good for you. Remember when you were a baby. For those of you who are parents, remember your kids? Remember when your kid was about 1.5 years, 2 years old, and he or she was learning how to walk? Did you tell her, let's try today, and if you cannot walk, we'll stop. We'll give up on you. Do you give up on them? No, you let them try and try and try, and they fall and they try and they fall and they try and they fall. For some reason, their head is heavier, and all of a sudden they can walk. And they come to you and you go, oh my God, you're walking. Do you tell them to stop? Do you ask them to stop trying because they failed? No, you don't. Well, guess what? When you guys fail from time to time, you give up. You may give up too soon. And the person you give up on sometimes is yourself. Look in the past and see. Have you noticed that there were times you gave up on yourself? You stopped believing that you can do it. You had a bad deal, or you had a bad interaction, or something didn't work out, and you start telling yourself negative things. I'm not made for this. I don't have what it takes. I'm not good enough. And you're going, I'm like, why are you doing that? Stop it. That didn't work out. Got it. Let's learn from it. Move on. That's the mindset of an entrepreneur. We keep moving on. Now, who takes these classes? Let me give you an idea. The last one I did, I had about 6 brokers, actual brokers, who took the class themselves. I had 6 new agents. And the other 8 were, people who have been in business about 3, 4, 5 years, depending. So it's a mix. It's a mix of everyone. And I've spoken to brokers. I said, you've been in business 10 years. And they go, I've been in business 10 years, but I feel like I should have learned this sooner. I wish I had started my career knowing these systems, these strategies, this way of running my business properly. There's only one thing I cannot do. And I want to be honest with you about it. I cannot create that roaring fire inside of you. If inside of you, you don't want to succeed. If you are not, real estate, whatever, I do it when I do and I don't do it when I don't, then the class is not for you. And it's fine. There's no problem. I don't want people to believe that if you don't do my class, you're not going to succeed. Absolutely not. I am not saying that at all. But I'm just saying to you, the people who usually do well in this class, inside of them, there's a roaring fire. They want to do well. They want to implement. They're not just learning intellectually, they're learning to implement, and they go out there, make mistakes and come back, make mistakes and come back. And then boom, it worked. Ooh, got the listing. Awesome. Let's go get another listing. So you got to have the intention and desire for success. You do not need to know anything about real estate. I have people who started their career on the boot camp and took off. So you don't need to learn everything, but you gotta want to succeed. You need to be coachable and you need to be collaborative. You got to work with other people. The other 20 people in the class, they need to know that you're collaborating with them. If you know yourself to be a loner and you don't want to work with other people, please don't take this boot camp. It's not for you. In this boot camp, we get muddied up. We work together. We push each other. We support each other. We create an environment of success. Even when there are things that are not working out, we work them out to get better and get better and get better. We don't want lone wolf in the class. So, what should you know? The course starts December the 4th. People are registering as we speak. I only have 10 seats left. In fact, I did a webinar yesterday. I think I'm down to only 7. So, the way it works is there are 8 Fridays in a row. December the 4th is the first live session. We start at 9 a.m. Eastern. So you have to log in at 8:30. You have to log in from a computer, not from your phone. And you are in a classroom, either in your office or your home office. And you're there from 9 a.m. until 12:30 p.m. There's a 15-minute break in between. And we work from that time until 12:30. After each class, we have assignments. Now, there are 8 Fridays in a row, except for one because of Christmas and New Year's. This year, Christmas and New Year's landed on a Friday. So there's one day where we're going to be doing it on a Wednesday, which is session 4. You have to log in from a computer, a laptop, and that has a built-in webcam, or you get an external webcam. You will have every day for that whole period small daily exercises. They're assignments that you could do in 10 minutes. So we call them small assignments. And then you will have, each week you will have a big assignment, an assignment that you have to work on your own with your success partners. And you have to collaborate and communicate with your success partners on your daily production. So you're in it daily. So basically, if you're in real estate, this is like, oh, this fits. Now, if you have a second job and you want to take this course, we have to talk first. We have to make sure that you can do both. Again, it's demanding. It's actually not hard. You know what makes it hard? When people don't do what they're supposed to do. They watch TV until 2 a.m. They go, man, I'm tired. I'm like, what do you mean you're tired? What time do you wake up? I'm like, well, I didn't, I've been working all night on this project. I'm like, stop it. Go to bed at 9 p.m., 10 p.m., wake up at 5 a.m., 5:30, and get to work then. You got to change remember I told you the mindset, you have to shift it. These are some of the topics I'm going to be covering, and I cover everything. I cover internet marketing, lead generation, lead management, prospecting, door knocking, phone prospecting, anything that generate leads to the agents in terms of listings and sales, we cover it. So it's all encompassing. Now, what should you know? Each class comes with a 15 to 20 page document that you have to fill in. By the time you finish the course, you have a binder this thick that has 250 pages, 200 to 250 pages. You will also have access to an additional library of additional 75 how-to videos for yourself over a long period of time. And the cost of the course is $369. And like I said, I only take 24 to 30 participants. The price that you have here is only for exit agents. I do not encourage non-exit agents to attend this course. The only time non-exit agents join the course, if a broker calls me and says, listen, this person is in with an independent company, they're going to be joining me, can you make an exception? That's the only time I make an exception, if a broker gives that exception. The price for the public is $9.99, just so you know. What else should you know? I think I've covered it all. Why don't I stop right here and give you a chance to ask questions or clarification? I'm giving you my phone number. I'm giving you my email address. You can ask me any questions about real estate, about the boot camp, about me, if you want to know more about me. I am weird. I know. I know. I talk with my hands and I jump a lot. Can't help it. It's who I am. What would you like to know?
Um, can you go back 2 slides exactly on what we're going to be learning exactly? I missed it.
That's the topics.
This one right here.
Correct.
Thank you.
The topics, and by the way, that you remember that link I gave you earlier? I'm going to give it to you again. bit.ly/AWDEC 2020. Remember that URL? It has a PDF, and I'm going to show you the PDF. It is this PDF right here. This PDF has not only a description of the course, it has the date of the course, and it also has the requirement of the course and all of the topics. So if you want to find out in detail what I'm going to be talking about, what are the topics I'm going to be covering, what are the dates and time exactly, what are the requirements you have to follow before you sign up, you will find all of this in that PDF that I've given you. So don't feel the need to write everything you see on the screen. You can take a screenshot of it if you want, but you don't have to worry about that because that URL I've given you has all of that information. So I'll put it again. This is the URL. If you take this URL, you will find that PDF, you will find the topic, you'll find the requirements, you will find additional videos, anything that you need. Anybody has a question, comment, maybe something about real estate, maybe a fear in real estate, something you're afraid of. Maybe you need some motivation or something. What can I do for you?
Come on, guys, speak up. Don't be shy. He's one of ours.
I am one of you. Correct.
All right. I guess my people don't have any questions for you, but
Okay.
I wanted to thank you, Key. Very exciting.
You're welcome.
Great information. Thank you so much again. You did
Well,
a
let me finish.
fantastic job.
Let me read them this quote before we end up. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is right now. And I share this proverb, Leah, from time to time. Simply, sometimes we regret. We keep looking back at the past and say, man, I wish. I'm like, dude, stop now. Let's go right now. Why not right now? Why not start a good life right now? Stop regretting not starting your success journey sooner. Right now and right here is when your journey starts. You make the decision and you go for it.
I agree with you 1,000%. You make a lot of sense. Now, let me ask you a question. How do we register? Where do we go?
You go to that link. Again,
Okay.
that link I gave you, the one right here, you go to that link. The registration form is there. The PDF is there. It's bit.ly/8WDEC 2020. And by the way, when you register, you don't pay for the course. No. When you register, then we have a one-on-one interview. Then I give you some exercises, and 2 to 3 days before the class, that's when you pay. So you don't pay when you register, you pay to qualify to be in the course.
Oh, man. Sounds exciting. Okay. Count me in. I'm
All right.
going to fill the form out.
All right. I can't wait to
All
see
right.
it. Well, it was good to be with all of you. Have a beautiful day. Go make some money. Go make some people happy. Take care, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.